Thanks for joining us again. And earlier we did the headlines review, and now we're going into the analysis. And we've been joined by our own, should I call him a guest? No, he's our own in-house analyst, Dokita Olamide. Samuel, I prefer to call him Samuel Olamide, not the Dokita. Thanks for joining us, Olamide.
Whichever you actually.
I just feel like that Dokita seems more like a nickname, or perhaps Dokita, like
Dokita is
stage name or something.
Dokita Olamide is actually my name anyway. Okay. Official name. Official. I am Ogunleke Samuel Dokita Olamide by name.
All right. Nice joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
You're welcome to the studio, Dokita. I would want to address you as Dokita because I don't want us having a clash of Olamide on set.
Yeah. This is a reminder that you can also call us here in the studio via the numbers that will be displayed on your screen, of course, to let us know what you think about those headlines we'll be discussing today in the program.
All right, Dokita, you're welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm sure you already know what's hitting the polity.
Of course, yes.
The service chiefs, the new service chiefs, and the removal of the old ones. So I'd like to get your thoughts on, I'm sure you've seen the list of the new service chiefs. I'd like to get your thoughts on what you think of this new list.
Well, I want to appreciate Nigerians for appreciating our president on these new appointments, and at the same time I want to appreciate the president for being a unifier, because with these present and the current new service chiefs, I don't know, I was actually envisaging something. It was 4 days ago with my friends and my colleagues. I was just like, okay, fine, that I don't know yet what is going to happen, but I guess our president needs to sack the old service chiefs, and
you said he needs to.
Yeah,
what's the need?
Like seriously, he really needs, because you know, when it comes to politics,
okay,
you have your men that are loyal to you. Politics is about loyalty, and you cannot want to safeguard your home by putting foreigners there. Are you getting this now? So you let people that are very close to you, that are loyal to you, take the lead, so that should in case there is anything coming from outside, they will be able to defend you.
But does it apply to this narrative? Because this is not his home. It's Nigeria, our home.
This is
the question of competence here is being lost. If the service chiefs were doing well, if they were doing well, why they don't continue?
Now let me tell you, Nigeria is his home. Are you getting it? Personally, he is our #1 citizen.
Okay.
So, and he needs, it is his priority to safeguard Nigeria properties and lives. So, if by any standard he needs to do anything, he must be taken into consideration those that will be loyal to his plight, not his personal plight, as in plight, as in something that will actually benefit Nigerians that he had as plan. And there are some people that will help you execute some plans better than others. Do you know that? Some people are loyal to their boss to the core, that whatsoever you are bringing to the board. I have actually worked in a particular parastatal that I was made the HOD of a particular department, and could not believe that simply because the former HOD was taken to another department. Those they were working with me, as in that there were 2 of them that refused to comply with my order. So I need to actually relieve them of their posts and send them to another department, because I could see that they were working for the previous.
So they were working against
my which is not actually polite.
So it's applicable here.
It's applicable here. This is politics.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. I think we lost it.
Now let's now go back to the service chiefs. He's a president, new president, and those that worked with Buhari, they tried their best. Let's be sincere to ourselves. But because of inclusiveness, so the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu had actually done something spectacular. Though I want to be sure, I actually used to say this since its inception, that it shouldn't play partisan politics with Nigerians' life.
Okay.
Now, in this case, now it has actually reflected that he prefer loyalty to any other thing, which is out of it. Let's talk about the acting IG now. The acting IG has been with him right from 1999, I guess.
Yes.
Yes, right from 1999, when he was still the governor in Lagos State, and till now. Though if our politicians could actually be grooming minds like that, we actually have people better than what we have in politics now. But at the same time, you don't, because of your personal interest, appoint some people. Now, in this case now, I think every geopolitical zone except North Central is actually represented. Southeast will not have. This morning I read the news about youths in Southeast that actually applauded the president because of what he did. Because everybody were thinking he will actually neglect Southeast, he will neglect them because they did not vote for him. But to me, I used to tell people that even if I thought others have been doing it, because I was actually discussing yesterday, somebody was saying, this is how they do it because they did not vote for him. Let's talk about Buhari. Buhari did the same thing, Obasanjo did the same thing, Jonathan did the same thing. I said, the fact that these people have done it and did it wrong doesn't mean that another person should come on board and do it wrongly. Same thing. But now I want to applaud him again because he had done exactly what we were expecting. Despite the fact that some people will still say that we have two northwest, we have two southwest, while we have one from southeast and south. I just want everybody to know that no matter the case may be, we are all represented, and this is a unifying government. Okay,
I just needed clarification, especially for our audience at home, because to some extent, I know Ogala is, based on what is on the profile and on paper, is from the southeast. Although there's this controversy that he is from the north central.
He's from Enugu.
Okay, so perhaps a clarification to the audience.
Ogala is actually from Enugu, and is from a local government that is well known in Enugu State. So nobody should actually bring up such discussion again, because we know very sure that defense chief and air chief are from northwest, while we have acting IG and I think army chief, yes, they are from southwest. Then we have naval chief and CDI, which are from southeast and south. Then we have in northeast, which is NSA. So it's actually we are actually expecting something for north central now, which I think in the next or subsequent appointments they are going to be represented. And even if apart from that, look at southeast. When we are talking about southeast, university is from which region? It's from southeast.
Special advisor.
Special advisor is from southeast. So that means Tinubu is actually unifying all the zones, not minding whether you vote for me or not, which is right. But at the same time, when we check it very well, let's be sincere to ourselves. We have to check the track record of these people. Are they really competent?
Exactly.
Are they really going to deliver what we want? Are they really going to fight for us and not fight against Nigerians at the wish, at the expense of whatsoever they believe in?
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome to the press. Please tell us where you're calling from and your name.
Okay, I'm calling from Lagos. Akim calling from Lagos.
All right, please join the conversation, Mr. Akim.
Okay, thank you so much. I think, first and foremost, most of the steps that the Mr. President is taking so far, they have been doing so well so far, anyway. But I want to call fired or sacked now.
Okay.
There is a rumor, or more or less, it's something that is in the public domain. You know, there is a rumor that Ribadu was to be appointed as the NSA.
Yes.
But the services were not to accept that because they cannot go to a lower officer, all right?
Yes.
And let's not forget, we have number one citizen, which is the president. So we can trace the circumstances of their sacking or retirement to this. So if they cannot accept that, they have to shift away. Then the NSC that he is trusted on, he wants to appoint, he can appoint it. This is what I want to believe what happened. Then if you want to look at the spread of the appointment, anyone who goes against it is, let me just say that person doesn't even know what it is. This is the best time and the best moment we have seen a very nice praise. Then the parastatals or boss that has just been dismissed, I called the other time here that I see we are chatting about the politicians, but ministries are all, even the civil servants that are shouting the president is not doing well. That's why something that there are more things in the civil service.
All right.
At the higher rank, even at to the lower level. So the step the president is taking now is the right thing because so many things have been deteriorated for quite long. And these are the points he has to just, anything that's going to block his way, he has to see. But
all right.
another part is that only if Nigeria are patient, because we are impatient, if we meet this president, only God knows. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for your thoughts.
Well, I want Nigerians to note this. It is a point that everybody should know that appointing new service chiefs is not an achievement on the part of president.
Okay.
People should not see this as an achievement. It is a normal in every administration to change, to appoint. So appointing new service chiefs should not be something that people will be seen as achievement. Though he is taking a right step in the right direction, but it is not an achievement. He hasn't done anything so special. It is his responsibility to do that. So people should not take this as President Tinubu is doing well. President Tinubu is doing this. No.
Okay, I thought that initially we had a guest who said that we hope that the recycling of major people in the politics space is not this present government does not actually go into that still, and we've seen Tinubu not going into that, and he's not recycling those key
that's an achievement.
Exactly. So
that's an achievement. But
you think it should be seen as an achievement?
That is an achievement.
And the fact is that we're having an inclusive.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Having an inclusive government is an achievement, but not but appointing new service chief should not be seen as, quote me well, appointing. You are getting it. Yes. Appointing new service chiefs is not an achievement. It's a normal. But having an inclusive government, as in, is an achievement that everybody needs to comment.
All right.
So that is exactly. Now talk about when we talk about these new rules by the CBN. You say, oh wow, this is wonderful. Why did they remove these limits? You know, there was limits before.
Yes.
They placed
for the domiciliary
accounts. You say, wow, why did they do that? What was their expectation?
So those are the kind of things to categorize
but now this is an achievement, because you know very sure that this is going to actually affect our economy positively. Whether you appoint new or you don't or you leave the old one, if they are still doing the same thing, there's not going to be any achievement. So achievement of Tinubu will actually lies on the performance of these new service chiefs, and not appointing them, appointing them as achievements. So if they actually perform well, then he has achieved. But if they perform the other way around,
Okay, since you're talking
because
about
you mentioned,
performance,
sorry,
okay.
apologies, because you had mentioned that you were talking about this same achievement or no achievement, though you categorized them as a unifier. So you do not think that someone who has carefully and selected these service chiefs and has gone round unifying in the sense of his selection is still not to be called an achievement. And you also talked about the Southeasterners coming out to say he has done great by actually representing them alongside. You still don't count that as an achievement when you're talking about someone who has come to unify even parts of the region that feel like they've been marginalized. You still don't think that that's an achievement.
I just want everybody to understand me well. Appointment of new service chiefs is not an achievement, but appointing the right persons
is the achievement.
Is achievement. That's
All right,
what I'm
let's
saying.
take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning to you and Hassan. And good morning, and Mr. Samuel. Good morning. You are on to SND from Lagos.
You're welcome. Please join the conversation.
Thank you very much. Let me appreciate you, and also let me appreciate KAFTAN TV.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. Are you there? Can you hear us? I think you should end the call and call back so we'll hear you better.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah.
I understand what you're trying to say. Now you're bringing the question of competence into play. So looking at the antecedents of the service chairs that have been appointed, do you think that they have the tendencies of doing well?
Well, looking at their antecedents and looking at their track record anyway, and looking at the way they are being appointed, as in reasons for their appointment.
So what's the reason for their appointment?
because you know, Tinubu is a shocker. Tinubu is actually a shocker. You remember vividly that he actually had meeting with this service chief not quite long.
Yes.
Without even bringing them
The first few days he came in.
So it's a shocker. So
let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hassan and Vici, I'm SND. I'm back again. The network just went up.
I'm glad you came back.
See, so he made mention he's going to work based on national competence. And that is what we are witnessing. That is what we have been advocating long ago. No matter where you come from, no matter what religion you belong to, if really you are okay and you are competent enough to serve this country, I see no reason why you will not be given that chance. I always give example with our forefathers. Look at the late Prime Minister. Look at the A.S. Taka. Look at the Tafawa Balewas. Look at the Malam Aminu Kano. They always sit together when it comes to the nation building. They keep their party differences aside. They keep their religious differences aside. They face the nation. That is nation building for you. Today, somebody will come out and tell you, I am late Malam Aminu Kano. I am late Awolowo. I am late Azikwe. That is in mouth. But in the real sense, he is not what he was saying. If not, why we keep on seeing them march their posters with the late Awolowo, late Nandi Azikwe, and so on and so forth? Why they cannot be able to perform what these our forefathers did for this country? So please, I'm always advocating on how to bridge the gap between religious and ethnicity so that we push this country forward. Like I always made mention, we don't have any other country than this, our country. I said this before in this platform. 1971, Dubai is not what it is today. What made Dubai what it is today? The people in Dubai, not the government, the people. You understand? So we must have to be patriotic and push this country forward. Lastly, also changing the service is another. It's one thing among what we are expecting from Mr. President when it comes to security. Remember, there is budgetary issue in this security issue, which they must be monitored and to make sure that there is monitoring and evaluation. Secondly, there is parliamentary, which each and every parliament has chairperson of a security committee. That something has to be done in that chairperson's issues of that parliament. Believe in me, they were dependent on that security board. There should not be an inquiry. No, there must be monitoring and evaluation. There must be. There must be. Honestly speaking, otherwise we keep on going on this present predicament, which I don't pray for. Thank you very much. I remain SMB from Lagos. I don't have any other country than Nigeria, and I love my country. We must have to be patriotic. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thanks for calling. Well, SND has said quite a lot. But the point is, he's also stressed on the fact that there are expectations from the president to have changed the service chiefs. But I'm beginning to wonder, this change now, how much effects would it bring? Because first of all, there are insecurities everywhere, and just in Plateau State, we saw what happened just a few days ago.
Zamfara still.
And Zamfara State,
Yes.
Kaduna State. So we don't know how this is supposed to, bring about an effective change. I don't know if you're seeing it in that sense.
Well, that's exactly that was why I said we shouldn't see the appointment as achievement, but the achievements or the performance of those appointed. So we actually tell us whether he had achieved something better by appointing them. Now let's now come back to what they can actually do. Let's be sincere to ourselves. There must have been a particular reason why Tinubu allowed those old ones to leave. Are you getting it? And bringing these ones, it will have actually be Tinubu is not a person that will actually think today and act today. Before Tinubu act, he had been thinking for over years. He had these people in mind over years, and that is why I always say that not only president, all our politicians should, by the virtue of the post they are holding, by the virtue of the office they are representing, should not be thinking for the day alone. They should be thinking ahead. Let's be sincere to ourselves. Somebody that could actually appoint someone that was his chief of staff when he was governor, now as Inspector General of Police. You should have seen that this man had something in mind right from 1999. I want to do this because of this your loyalty, because of this your achievement. I know, and I want to tell you that please just continue this. Should in case we now have the opportunity of ruling this nation, you will be unpicked. I told one of my younger brother, who is actually is actually not a relative like that. We met in school while I was in university. I told him this morning, just this morning. He's a police officer. I said exactly what Tinubu did. If I happen to be in a particular position tomorrow and there is need for police assignments, please be ready. Why? Not because we are not from the same state, neither are we from the same region, but the fact is, if this guy said he is loyal to a person, I have seen him being disloyal to me, as in pledging his allegiance with another person. And despite the fact that we are so close, I happen to be his lead counsel while we were in school. Despite that, he did not work with me. So that means somebody like that would actually be picked if peradventure I happen to be in Tinubu's position, because I know very sure that it's going to work perfectly with my lined up plan. So for Tinubu now, I just want him to, I wish him to warn this new service chief that they should not recuperate what the whole service chiefs did, so that we'll have a better Nigeria in terms of security.
Okay, I was going to ask you, because I've heard you speak so much about loyalty. Perhaps he had handpicked these new service chiefs as when it comes to loyalty, because perhaps the past relationship and the rest. But my question is, should loyalty be jettisoned as against the measurable competence that we are supposed to be seeing play out in coming days?
Sorry, let's take this call before you answer that. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Hello, good morning. All right, I think we lost that call. So
now let me just tell you, in a reality, of politics, there is no way you are going to leave aside or drop aside loyalty. But it now depends on who is leading and which type of loyalty are we talking about. Are you getting it? If the loyalty is for the benefit of those you are ruling, then you have my hands on deck. But if the loyalty is for your personal interest, that was why I said it is not an achievement for him to have appointed. It is an achievement if
they perform.
They perform well, and if this appointment is actually basically because to tackle the security and to put the security under check, so that everybody will now see and say, wow, so you actually appointed them based on merit, not only loyal. You know, we have people that merit a particular position, but they'll still be loyal to you. So you are picking them because they merit that position and they are loyal to you. There are people that will merit that position. If you put them there because of their disloyalty, they will not work for you. They work against you. So it actually happens like that. You know, when people were talking about Wike the other time, that he actually delivered for Tinubu, and maybe because he was looking for 1 or 2 positions like that, you know, I was like, if Wike could actually be loyal to Tinubu, and Tinubu brings better to Nigerian status, then we should actually applaud him.
Wike.
That's just the fact. But if his loyalty brings doom to this country, then we should actually know him. So that is exactly what I'm saying. I am not saying you jettison this for this, but no matter whatsoever you want to do, make sure that the interest of the common man is put first. Then you can now actually, there is no one that will not have preference. That one is very sure. But you should not allow your preference to overshadow exactly what Nigerians or what your what common man actually wants. That's just it.
One of the major issues we had in the past with the former president
Muhammadu Buhari,
hope we don't forget his name soon, was the issue of accountability and evaluation. So do you think that this incumbent president has what it takes when it comes to making people in office become accountable? And then they are evaluated?
Let me remind you that in the year 1999, I moved from Oyo State to Ogun State, very close to Lagos State. Year 1999, particularly June 1999. And that was when they brought lights to where that local government anyway, in the local government. So I learned something about Tinubu then. When I was a kid, somebody was actually, another was actually narrating some things about him, and I learned something that there is no way you work under him and you will not perform. If you don't perform, you are gone. And if you are working under Tinubu against the wish of the people he has interest in, forget about it. You are gone. Let's take, for instance, though this should not be a perfect, this is not a perfect example anyway, but I want to actually use it. Or maybe don't let me use it because it's not even a perfect example. He was wrong totally in that regard anyway. But talk about last man. Talk about this establishment in Lagos, Alpha Beta. Are you getting it? Then though the leaders of Alpha Beta worked in accordance with what Tinubu gave them. Those that did not work then, they left. So now I know very sure that even everyone is actually exercising fear. You can see the way we are having lights now.
All right, let's proceed. Of course, that's going to be increasing by 40%.
I actually think we need to talk about that, because whatsoever is good, will actually come with something. That's just it.
Definitely. So let's move on to part of the things that President Tinubu has done so far. He has also signed the students' loan bill. Now, thanks to this explainer that one of our colleagues wrote, Amadine, he says that the Student Loan or Access to Higher Education Act was sponsored as a bill by the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the aim is to make education accessible to all Nigerian students who are genuine indigenes of the nation through interest-free loans. ideally this would mean that the poorest of the society can have access or afford a higher education. Now let's talk about the eligibility for this loan. I have a reason for coming here because there's a headline on the newspaper. I just want to drop this explainer that he wrote. It says, any student who has secured admission to a higher institution with an income or family income of no more than 500,000 per annum, and the student must provide as guarantor civil servants of at least level 12 in the service. Let's not talk about the other things, which is lawyer with at least 10 years post experience, judicial officer, or justice of peace. Now, if you're talking about the poorest in the society, we know that, I think there was a statistics that says that a percentage, I can't remember specifically, a percentage of Nigerians don't even have up to 100,000 in their bank account. And you expect that they would have a salary of 500,000.
No, less than anybody that has up
nothing
to that.
Less than
no, anybody that have up to that. Anybody that have up to that, any family that have up to that will not be given the loan. Will be seen as being average, and you could actually be able to sponsor your children. That's the explanation.
Okay, so then what about the clause of a civil servant of at least?
Now let me just explain.
But that's on the side. Okay. Let me just take everything before you attend to it. Okay. Now the headline on the Daily Sun says, ASU tackles federal government on student loan. Contends 90% of Nigerian students won't meet requirements. Demand student grants instead of loan. Because the thing is, people are beginning to ask questions. You are giving us a loan that we're supposed to pay back after school years, right? And this loan is supposed to cover just tuition. So what about the other expenditures that tend to be higher than even your tuition fee? Because while I was in school, my tuition fee wasn't even as high. And I had to buy other materials. Thank you. We had other things to pay for in school that could have even doubled your tuition fee. So now, if that is coming into play, at the end of the day, when you, for instance, you successfully took the loan and you graduated and you do not find a job, what happens?
Well, let me explain this. That despite the fact that President has a better intention by assenting to that bill, the bill is not really what we think it will. That's just it. I happen to be the first person, as in on my list, on some WhatsApp groups that I belong to castigate some sections of that bill. Number one is how. Like even family that are earning 100,000 naira per month. If you are saying 500,000 annual, that means you are talking about 60,000 naira.
Yes.
Even families that are earning 100,000 per month, that is 1.2 M annually, cannot afford to send their children to university.
Of course.
Are you getting this? Yeah. So if you're actually giving us the limits or the limit, yes, the limit of 500,000 in accounts. The fact that I have 500,000 in account, does that mean I'm rich or I can actually afford a better life? No. Even people that have 2 million in account cannot afford better life in this part of the world. So that one had actually negates the essence of that loan. Number two, if I have a lawyer that has been practicing for 10 years in this country, do you think I will be requesting for the loan?
Exactly.
If I have a lawyer,
my parents are working in the civil service,
why should I request for the loan? And apart from that, you actually mentioned, before I will react to ASU's statement, you actually mentioned buying of materials, other expenses. That is exactly where our university are being faltered. One, there is no reason. There is law that stipulates that there shouldn't be anything like selling of handouts, handbooks, or whatsoever in the universities. Are you getting it? I had this in my mind. Lecturers that are selling handouts are selling it at the expense of their salary or whatsoever, because they are doing it because they don't want to earn living in another side also. It is their own upgrade, not ours. If you write book and you are being upgraded, it is your own benefit. If you write a book and you get profit, it is not my benefit. I have books to buy or to read online. I remember vividly while I was actually still in university. Okay, after my university, one of my friends, I actually refer to as my friend, supposed to buy some books. We have 10,000, we have 8,000. I said, come, this is my phone. I bought new phone there. I said, take this phone, download all those textbooks and be reading. I don't have money. Your parents do not have money. So we can actually do that. But in this case now, all these expenses should be included in our tuition fee. I remember it was done during my set. I was part of those that agitated for all these departmental levies that we are paying. Put it in our tuition. Let us know that, okay, everything is being paid for once. Are you getting this? Economics department, we are paying 2,000 naira to your account. Economics department for journal, 2,000 naira. Economics department for student association, 2,000 naira. Economics department for cleaning, 2,000 naira. Student union government due, 2,000 naira. All this should be included so that by the time I obtain the loan, I know very sure that the only thing I will have to do is to feed myself, not to be running hectare for other expenses that is even higher than the loan, as the tuition fees that federal government is actually granting me, which I'm still going to pay back. Now back to ASUU. Let's be sincere to ourselves. Nothing is free in this world. Even as a living creation, it's not free. You have to pay some dues. Let's be sincere to ourselves. If you're actually compelling government to be giving grants, do you think everybody will not go for that grants? And do you think that will be actually, this grant will actually reach the necessary, the important people and the people that really need these grants? No. And at the same time, if we are actually converting it to grants, what is the essence of removing subsidy then? If we are removing subsidy and we are putting it somewhere else, that is not going to be okay. What gives us the assurance that people that will get the grant will actually be valuable to our society? But somebody that gets loan will want to read. You know, it is loan. You are not being given. This is not given. This is not a reward. It is a loan. But so without interest. But if it is without interest, you know it's without interest, but you are going to pay back. So the word without interest is actually okay. What I against is the fact that this clause that are there, the 500,000, the lawyer, the civil servants, those ones should be removed. And I think President said they will review such as those clause. So you do not think that ASUU could be right by requesting for grants for students rather than loan? If ASUU actually want the federal government to be giving grants, ASUU is also, at least ASUU has their pulse also. They should be giving grants too.
You know why I made that statement? Because if you look at it from the perspective of loan, someone who has access to loan is going to actually pay back. We have a lot of Nigerians that have taken loans from loan sharks, and you could probably bear witness that at some point someone has called you.
That's because these loans that we're talking about comes with interest. Now don't forget that this is education loan. It is not for any other, and they are not going to pay it to your account. They are paying it to your school, so that you have a rest. You are rest assured. And somebody was actually talking about after 2 years, what if they could not pay it?
Yes, the repayment plan now, is 2 years. There's punishment.
It's not 2 years.
The repayment plan is you start paying after 2 years of graduation, but there's no stipulated space of time that you can pay for. And at the same time, if you default in the payment, you're going to be jailed, or you have to pay 500,000, or have both punishment.
Of course.
And in the place of death, then the loan will be forfeited.
Of course. I love that. Why? Because number one thing, Nigerians love to actually chase away something that has to do with government. 2 years after your service, not 2 years after graduation, because we have some schools like I will not actually need to mention that that will not even call you up for service after a year of graduation. Now, the clause is after 2 years of service. Even while during your service, believe me sincerely, we have people that will actually pay up that money. That will be paying 10,000 naira from their alawi. Are you getting it? Because they have it in mind to do that. But we have Nigerians. Oh, God of mercy. The habit is actually, it is government, it's our money. If it is your money, you pick from your money today, you do not return it. You pick from your money tomorrow, you do not return it. You pick from your money next tomorrow, you do not return it. Will that money remain the same? The only thing is, no matter what, we need to pay back. Everybody needs to pay back. So far, it is not with interest. After 2 years, so nobody should tell me that there's no job. Nobody should tell me there's no job anywhere. There's
exactly my question. I know a high level of unemployment in the country. Okay. And then I don't want to be a pessimist, but in average Nigeria, we know that we might need orientation when it comes to how to service back our debts, pay back our debts, because sometimes we just feel like we don't, even if we want to pay, there is no opportunity out there to pay.
Let me tell you something.
Even as a person, after the service, after you graduated and you went for service, although you are being given a stipend from the federal government as
I did not even collect it anyway.
But then there are no jobs out there.
Let me tell you something.
We only have 5 minutes.
Victoria, the least advantage of education is to get job. Quote me right. Dokita Olamide 2023. The least advantage of education is to get job. There are other advantages of education. While you are in service, you learn handworks. While you are in school, you learn this. Education is to enlighten you on how to do something better. That is the definition of education. Education is not meant or compulsorily meant to employ you, to give you employment. Education is to widen your horizon so that you will be able to know what to do at the right time and for the right step. Let me sincere. When I graduated, I was just doing this liquid soap. When I graduated, liquid soap. I learned it from somewhere.
Did you pay your tuition fee while making liquid soap?
I paid my tuition fee. My family could actually bear me witness. I paid my tuition fee through MC and music. I'm a musician. I'm an event compere. So that is what I used then. Except my father, my stepfather, actually. Is it a stepfather? That's so wrong. My nephew, yes, he's actually my nephew. That actually helped me. If not for him, I wouldn't have been educated anyway. But when it comes to a particular, when it got to a particular point, I need to pay this thing myself, even before it comes from him. So how do I do it? People are so lazy that they don't want to return anything, any grant, any loan, or anything you give to them. They always want to receive reward, gifts instead of reward. So to me, Nigerians should be ready to pay back Nigerian government after 2 years. And don't forget that clause says if you default, are you getting? That means you can actually be paying this. You can be paying this. Are you with me? You can be paying this 10,000 naira every month. And if you don't default, then you pay it. And if you are working, your salary is just 20,000. It is just 10% of your 20,000. What is 10% of your 20,000? 2,000 naira. Let's add it like that.
You know, at the end of the day, the current prices of most universities in Nigeria have risen higher. Before somebody graduates in the next 4 years, you know how much they are already owing the government. And then depends on what kind of job they are able to get.
And government is not paying
for the rest of their lives.
And government is not telling you that you should bring it in the next 2 years. After graduation, government is saying you should be paying it. You should be giving them 10% of whatever you are earning. That is if you are being sincere. Let's be sincere to ourselves. If you even our civil servants that are borrowing money to build house, which they're supposed not to anyway, they pay back.
Now, with all of these things that are happening in the country, one will be wondering, where is this money supposed to come from that government is supposed to use to finance these educations ahead?
And they said they will pay back.
Since they are going to pay back, this is going to be like a promise note. Are you getting it? They are not paying the school cash.
Okay.
Are you getting? It's not cash. It's just like, okay, we've paid. We've paid. We've paid. Are you getting it? That was what happened to all these judgments that Buhari was requesting our House of Representatives and House of Senate to grant the deal. So it's just going to come in a promise note form, and at the end, by the time you are paying back, we are paying back government straight away. So that is, and even if there is going to be cash, we've removed subsidy now. People said subsidy is eating up our economy.
Dokita, thank you. I know if we're going to leave, you're going to say so much, because there's still a lot to talk about on this same loan issue, because there are flaws as to the inability to study outside the country. Meanwhile, so much to talk about, but we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning, and I'm sure you've had an exciting time with us discussing about the new service chiefs and of course the student loan. Do well to join us tomorrow again for another episode on The Press. Until then, I am Victoria Agbi.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for your call. I am Olamide Al Hassan. Do have a great day ahead.